My fiancée said at the venue tour, "Ugh, your sister can't be a bridesmaid. She'll ruin the photos with her weight." I stopped walking. "What did you say?" She repeated it. I turned to the wedding coordinator. "Cancel everything. This wedding isn't happening." When her mom called demanding to know why I'd embarrassed them. Original post. I, 28 male, canceled my wedding in front of a venue coordinator approximately 4 hours ago, and I'm sitting in my car in a parking lot trying to figure out what just happened to my life. Some background. I've been with my fiancé for 3 years. Engaged for 8 months. We were supposed to get married in October, about 5 months from now. We'd already put down deposits on the venue, the caterer, and the photographer. Combined, those deposits totaled around $14,000. My parents contributed $8,000 toward the wedding fund. Her parents contributed $12,000. We were building something together, or so I thought. My sister is one of my favorite people on this planet. She's smart, funny, kind, and has been through more than most people will ever face. She was diagnosed with COS when she was 19, which has made weight management incredibly difficult for her. She struggled with it her whole adult life, tried every diet, every program, dealt with the shame and the comments and the unsolicited advice from people who think they know better. Through all of it, she's remained one of the most genuinely good people I know. When I was going through my lowest point 3 years ago, lost my job, girlfriend at the time dumped me, felt like a complete failure, my sister was the one who showed up. Every single day, cooked me meals, forced me to shower, drove me to therapy appointments, sat with me when I couldn't be alone. I would walk through fire for her. And apparently, I just walked away for a wedding for her too. Here's what happened. Today we had a venue tour, the final walkthrough before signing the contract for the ceremony space. Beautiful garden area, really nice indoor reception hall, the whole package. The coordinator was walking us through, explaining timelines and logistics. My fiancé was taking notes, asking questions about lighting for photos. Everything seemed normal. We got to the area where the bridal party would stand during the ceremony. The coordinator mentioned something about arranging the bridesmaids by height for symmetry. My fiancée nodded and then said, casually, like she was commenting on the weather. "Oh, that reminds me. I've been meaning to tell you. Your sister can't be a bridesmaid. She'll ruin the photos with her weight." I was thinking she could do a reading instead. I stopped walking. The coordinator went quiet. I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. "Me, what did you say?" "I said your sister can't be in the bridal party. I've looked at other wedding photos where there's one person who's bigger, and it just throws off the whole aesthetic. She can still participate, just not standing up there." She said it like it was reasonable, like she was explaining a seating arrangement, not telling me she wanted to exclude my sister from standing beside me on the most important day of my life because of how she looks. "Me, you want to kick my sister out of the wedding party because you think she's too fat for your photos?" "Don't say it like that. I'm not being mean, I'm being practical. This is our wedding. The photos are forever. I just want them to look a certain way." The coordinator was very carefully studying her clipboard. I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. Me, my sister, the person who was there for me at my absolute lowest, who I specifically asked to be in my wedding because she's the most important woman in my life besides you. You want her demoted to a reading because of her weight? "You're being dramatic. It's not a demotion, it's just a different role." Honestly, she might be relieved. Bridesmaids' dresses are expensive, and she probably doesn't want to squeeze into one anyway. Something in me clicked off, like a switch flipping from try to understand to absolutely done. I turned to the coordinator. "Me, I'm sorry for wasting your time today. Cancel everything. This wedding isn't happening." The coordinator's eyes went wide. My fiancé's jaw dropped. What? You can't be serious." "Me, I've never been more serious about anything in my life." "Over this? Over your sister?" "Me, yes. Over my sister. The person you just casually dismissed because she might ruin your aesthetic." "You're overreacting. This is insane. We've put down deposits. We've sent save the dates. My dress is being altered." "Me, then unalter it. Unsend the dates. Undeposit the money. I don't care. I'm not marrying someone who would say that about my family." I walked out. She followed me to the parking lot screaming about how I was throwing away 3 years over nothing and embarrassing her in front of the coordinator. I got in my car. She stood in front of it like she was going to physically stop me from leaving. I waited. She eventually moved. I drove away. That was 4 hours ago. Since then, 23 missed calls from her, 15 missed calls from her mother, 8 missed calls from her sister, multiple texts ranging from "please let me explain" to "you're being ridiculous" to "you will regret this." I haven't responded to any of them. I called my sister instead. Didn't tell her what happened, just told her I loved her and was glad she was my sister. She sounded confused, but happy. I'm sitting in my car now because I don't want to go home. We don't live together, dodged that bullet apparently, but home feels wrong right now. Everything feels wrong. I know I'm going to lose money on this. The deposits are non-refundable. The financial fallout is going to be significant. Her family is going to paint me as the villain. Maybe some of my own family will think I overreacted. But here's the thing. My sister has spent her entire adult life feeling like she's not enough. Like her body is a problem to be solved. Like she takes up too much space. And the woman I was going to marry, the woman who was supposed to become her sister-in-law, just confirmed every insecurity my sister has ever had. Casually, without remorse. I can't unsee that. I can't unknow that this is who she is. I'll update when I figure out what comes next. Update 1, 2 days later. The past 48 hours have been chaos, and I need to document what's happened because this situation has escalated way beyond what I expected. First, thank you to everyone who commented on my original post. The support meant more than you know. Some of you thought I was too hasty, that I should have talked it through first. I understand that perspective. But here's the thing, she didn't misspeak. She didn't have a momentary lapse. She laid out a plan she'd clearly been thinking about, complete with an alternative role for my sister. This wasn't a hot take. It was a strategy she'd developed. There's nothing to talk through. Now for the fallout. The night after the venue incident, her mother called me. I finally answered because I figured I owed them some form of communication. Her mom, "What exactly do you think you're doing?" Me, ending a relationship with someone who thinks my sister is too fat to stand next to me at my own wedding. Her mom, "That's not what she said." Me, "That's exactly what she said. I was there. The coordinator was there. She said my sister would ruin the photos with her weight." Those were her exact words. Her mom, "She was just trying to make the day perfect. Every bride wants beautiful photos." Me, "And every decent person doesn't exclude family members because of their body size." Her mom, "You're throwing away a marriage over political correctness nonsense. People have preferences about how weddings look. That's normal." Me, "No, it's not. And the fact that you think it is tells me a lot about where she learned this." Her mom, "How dare you?" Me, "I'm done with this conversation. Please tell your daughter to stop calling me. We're finished." I hung up. She called back 4 times. I didn't answer. The next day, yesterday, things escalated further. My fiancée showed up at my apartment. I was home, unfortunately, and answered the door without checking the peephole. My mistake. Her, "We need to talk." Me, "No, we don't." Her, "You can't just end things like this. 3 years. We have a life together." Me, "We have a relationship where you apparently think it's acceptable to exclude my family based on their appearance. That's not a life I want." Her, "I apologized already. I sent you like 10 texts saying I was sorry." Me, "You apologize for how it came out, not for what you actually said. Those are different things." Her, "What do you want from me?" Me, "Nothing. I want nothing from you. That's the point. We're done." She started crying then. And I'm not heartless. Part of me felt bad. 3 years is a long time. There were good moments. But I kept thinking about my sister. About how she'd feel if she ever found out what my fiancé said. About the message it would send if I married someone who viewed her that way. Me, "I think you should leave." Her, "You're really going to throw this away? Everything we built? Over some comments about a wedding photo." Me, "It's not about the photo. It's about the fact that you looked at my sister, someone I love deeply, and saw a problem to be managed rather than a person to be included. That's who you are. I don't want to be married to who you are." Her, "That's not fair." Me, Neither is telling someone they can't be in a wedding because of their weight. Life isn't fair. Please leave. She left, but not before telling me I was making a huge mistake and that I'd come crawling back when I realized how hard it is to find someone who actually loved me. After she was gone, I sat down and made a list of practical matters to address. The deposits, called the venue, caterer, and photographer, explained the wedding was canceled. None of them offer refunds on deposits, standard practice. Total lost, approximately $14,000. I told my parents what happened. My dad said, that $8,000 was well spent if it kept you from marrying someone like that. My mom cried and hugged me. Her parents' contribution. Her mother sent a formal email demanding repayment of the $12,000 they contributed since I was the one who canceled. I forwarded it to a lawyer friend who said they have no legal grounds. Wedding contributions are generally considered gifts, and I'm not obligated to return gifted money. I responded politely that I would not be repaying the money as it was given as a gift for wedding expenses, which it was spent on. The deposits are gone regardless of who canceled. The save the dates sent out a brief message to everyone who received one. We regret to inform you that our October wedding has been canceled. We appreciate your understanding and request privacy during this time. Clean, simple, no blame assigned. My sister, I still haven't told her the specific reason. She knows the wedding is off and has been supportive without pushing for details. She texted me, "Whatever happened, I'm here. You know that." I almost cried, but here's where things got ugly. This morning, I got a text from a mutual friend. Apparently, my ex-fiancée has been telling people that I canceled the wedding because I was having second thoughts about commitment and probably cheating. She's positioned herself as the victim who got dumped with no explanation, and I'm the villain who abandoned her. The narrative is that I panicked, made up an excuse about her being mean about the wedding party, and fled. She's apparently been crying to anyone who'll listen about how she gave me 3 years, and this is how he repays her. I have witnesses. The coordinator was right there. But I'm not about to call up a wedding venue employee and ask her to make a statement about my ex's character. That feels insane. For now, I'm just letting the rumors swirl. The people who know me, really know me, will ask for my side. Everyone else can believe what they want. More updates coming as this develops. Update 2, 6 days later. Things have continued to spiral. I need to tell you about what happened because honestly, I didn't see this coming. The rumor mill was in full swing after my last update. My ex had apparently been very busy telling anyone who would listen that I was a commitment-phobic cheater who abandoned her with no warning. A few mutual friends reached out for my side, and I told them the truth. She wanted to exclude my sister from the bridal party because of her weight. Some believed me. Some clearly didn't. A couple unfollowed me on social media, which I assume means they picked her side. Whatever. But then something happened that changed everything. My ex's sister, who I'd always gotten along with reasonably well, reached out to me directly. Sent me a DM on Instagram. Her sister, "Hey, I know things are insane right now, but I need to talk to you. Can we meet for coffee? There's something you should know." I was skeptical. Could be a trap. Could be her trying to mediate on my ex's behalf. But something about the message felt genuine. I agreed to meet. We sat down at a coffee shop. She looked uncomfortable, kept stirring her drink without drinking it. Her sister, "I'm not here to ask you to take her back. What she said about your sister was awful, and I told her that." "Me? You did?" Her sister, "Yeah. We had a huge fight about it, actually. She doesn't think she did anything wrong. Said everyone feels that way about bigger bridesmaids, and she was just being honest." "Me? That's horrifying." Her sister, "I know, but that's not why I wanted to meet. There's something else." She pulled out her phone and showed me a group chat screenshot. It was a conversation between my ex, her mom, and 2 of her bridesmaids. The messages were from about 3 weeks ago, before the venue tour. In the chat, my ex had written, "So I've been thinking about how to tell him his sister can't be a bridesmaid. Any ideas?" I was thinking I'd bring it up casually during the venue tour, so he'd be too embarrassed to make a scene in front of the coordinator. Her mom responded, "Smart. He's always been sensitive about her. Frame it as being about the photos, not about her personally." One bridesmaid wrote, "Maybe suggest she do a reading instead? That way she still feels included." Another wrote, "This is awkward, but honestly, you're right. She would throw off the aesthetic. Those dresses are going to be form-fitting." I read it twice, then a third time. This wasn't a spontaneous comment. It was a planned ambush. She consulted with her mother and bridesmaids about how to manipulate me into accepting it. They'd strategized about how to present it, so I wouldn't push back. Me? Why are you showing me this? Her sister, because what she's telling everyone, that you overreacted, that she made one innocent comment, isn't true. She planned this. She knew it was wrong. That's why she strategized about how to bring it up. And now she's making you look like the bad guy when really she tried to manipulate you into going along with something cruel. Me? How did you get these screenshots? Her sister. I'm in a different group chat with one of the bridesmaids. After everything blew up, she felt guilty and forwarded me the conversation. She wanted someone in the family to know what actually happened. Me? Why are you doing this? Why help me? Her sister. Because I have a daughter. She's 4 years old, and I never want her to grow up thinking it's okay to treat people this way or to be treated this way. If my sister can plan to exclude someone from her own wedding because of their body and then lie about it when she gets called out, what else is she capable of? That's not someone I want around my kid learning values from. I sat there processing. The screenshots changed everything. This wasn't a momentary lapse in judgment. It was premeditated cruelty. Me? What do you want me to do with this? Her sister. Whatever you need to. I'm not telling you to post it everywhere or start a war. But if people are going to hear one side of the story, maybe they should hear the other side too. Me? Won't this cause problems for you with your family? Her sister. Probably. But I'd rather have problems for doing the right thing than peace for staying quiet about the wrong thing. I left that coffee shop with a lot to think about. Here's what I decided to do. I'm not posting the screenshots publicly. That feels vindictive and messy, and honestly, I don't want this to become a bigger circus than it already is. But I did share them with the mutual friends who'd asked for my side. Let them see the evidence and make their own judgments. The result? Most of them were horrified. Several reached back out to apologize for doubting me. One said, "I always thought something was off about how she talked about other women. This confirms it." Another said she was cutting contact with my ex because anyone who plans something like that isn't someone I want in my life. The tide turned. Slowly. But it turned. My ex found out that her sister had shared the screenshots. From what I hear, it caused a massive blow-up in their family. Their mom is furious at the sister for betraying family. The sister is holding firm that what my ex did was wrong. The bridesmaids who were in the chat are apparently backpedaling hard, claiming they were just supporting their friend and didn't actually agree. My ex sent me one final message yesterday. "Her, I hope you're happy. You've turned my whole family against me and destroyed my reputation. All because I wanted nice wedding photos. This is who you really are, vindictive and cruel." I didn't respond. There's nothing to say to someone who still thinks the problem is wanting nice wedding photos rather than planning to exclude and demean a family member. Final update coming once everything settles. Update 3. Final 10 days later. This is my last update. The dust has mostly settled, and I want to wrap this up properly. The financial fallout is what it is. The $14,000 in deposits is gone. My parents told me repeatedly not to worry about it. My dad actually said, "Consider it an investment in not ruining your life." Her family's $12,000 contribution went toward those same deposits. So technically it was spent on its intended purpose, even if the wedding didn't happen. Her mom threatened legal action twice more via email, but her lawyer apparently told her she had no case because, as I'd already explained, wedding contributions are gifts, not loans. She eventually stopped threatening. I heard through the grapevine that her own attorney advised her to let it go because pursuing it would make the family look petty. Good advice. The social fallout has been more complicated. My ex has doubled down on her victim narrative in some circles. There are still people who believe I overreacted, who think she just wanted nice photos, and I'm the one who blew it out of proportion. Some of her extended family apparently thinks I'm a monster. Her mom reportedly told people at their church that I abandoned her daughter at the altar, which is factually wrong since we never made it to an altar, but whatever. I can't control what people say about me. What I can control is who I keep in my life. The friends who stayed, who asked questions, who looked at the evidence and made informed judgments. Those are the people who matter. The ones who believe the worst about me without asking. I don't need them. My ex's sister and I have stayed in touch. She's facing fallout from her own family for sharing those screenshots. Her mom accused her of tearing the family apart and siding with an outsider over blood. Her sister, my ex, has apparently stopped speaking to her entirely. Her sister's response: if they cut me off for telling the truth, that says more about them than me. She's a good person. I'm grateful she had the courage to come forward. A few things I want to address from comments on my previous updates. 1. People asked if I ever told my sister what happened. I did, finally, about 5 days ago. I waited because I didn't want her to feel guilty or responsible for the wedding being canceled. When I told her, she was quiet for a long time. Then she said, I always felt like she looked at me weird, like she was calculating something. I told myself I was being paranoid. Me, I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. Her, don't apologize. You saw it when it mattered. You chose me. Me, always. She cried. I cried. It was a lot. But I think it also gave her something she's rarely had in her life. Proof that someone valued her as a person, not despite her body, but regardless of it. That her worth wasn't conditional on fitting someone else's aesthetic. 2. People asked about reconciliation. There won't be any. Even if she apologized genuinely, which she hasn't, the planning aspect makes it impossible. She didn't slip up. She strategized. She consulted her mom and bridesmaids about how to manipulate me. That's not a momentary lapse. That's who she is at her core. 3. People asked how I'm doing emotionally. Honestly, it's complicated. 3 years is a long time. There are moments when I miss her, not who she turned out to be, but who I thought she was. The version of her I fell in love with before I knew what she was capable of. Grieving that person while being angry at the real person is confusing. I started seeing a therapist last week. Just someone to help me process everything. The betrayal, the loss, the anger, the relief. She told me it's normal to feel multiple conflicting emotions at once. That I can be sad and sure at the same time. I'm sad, and I'm sure. A few final practical notes. My apartment is fully mine again. She'd never officially moved in, but she had stuff here. I boxed it all up and left it at her parents' house when I knew they'd be home. Her dad answered the door. He didn't say anything, just nodded and took the boxes. He looked tired. I almost felt bad for him. My work is going well. I threw myself into it after everything happened, which isn't the healthiest coping mechanism, but at least it's productive. Got positive feedback on a project I've been struggling with before. Small wins. My family has been incredible. My parents check in regularly without being overbearing. My sister and I have been spending more time together, dinners, movie nights, normal sibling stuff. The bond feels stronger somehow, forged in this weird fire. A few final thoughts. 1. Trust your gut. Looking back, there were signs I ignored. Little comments about other people's appearances. The way she'd evaluate women at parties. A subtle but persistent shallowness that I explained away as just being image conscious. It wasn't. It was cruelty dressed up as aesthetics. 2. Defending the people you love isn't overreacting. Some people thought I should have worked through it or given her a chance to apologize properly. But there are some things you don't come back from. Calling my sister too fat for a wedding photo and planning how to break that news from maximum compliance is one of them. 3. Losing deposits hurts less than losing yourself. $14,000 is a lot of money, but spending the next however many years married to someone who views my family as aesthetic problems to be managed, that would have cost me so much more. For the trash takes itself out, but sometimes you have to hold the door open. I didn't get revenge on my ex. I told the truth when asked. I shared evidence with people who wanted to understand what happened. The consequences she's facing, the strained family relationships, the lost friendships, the damaged reputation, are all the result of her own actions coming to light. I just stopped covering for her. 5. Family is everything. Not family as obligation, but family as the people who show up for you. My sister showed up for me when I was at my lowest. I showed up for her when someone tried to push her out. That's what it's supposed to be. I'm going to make dinner now. Something simple, pasta, probably. My sister might come over later. We're planning to watch one of those terrible reality dating shows and make fun of all the contestants. Normal sibling stuff. The ring is still in my desk drawer. I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. Might sell it. Might just bury it in the back of a closet and forget about it for a while. Either way, it's not going on anyone's finger, and that's the important thing. Thanks for following this whole saga. It helped to write it out. Sometimes you need strangers on the internet to confirm you're not crazy for choosing your sister over your fiancé's photo aesthetic. Some things matter more than looking good in pictures. Peace.